today I'll be discussing average value of alternating current. So we will be discussing about average value of alternating current. So why average value? Because as you know, the alternating current by nature has both positive half and negative half. So in case of alternating current, magnitude changes continuously, right? Continuously. And direction changes periodically. This is important. So magnitude changes continuously and direction changes periodically. So what is period? That is a time period. That is the total time for complete cycle is called time period. T is the total time period. And the upper half and lower half, right? So as you know, if this is total time, and this will be T by 2, right? Half of the time. You see the magnitude, that is magnitude, this is the variation of alternating current. As you know that alternating current is given by I naught sine omega t. This is sinusoidal. I naught is the peak value. That is in the positive direction, I naught is the peak value. And in the negative direction, again, I naught is the peak value. Right? So sine omega t, if we find the value of current with respect to the change of omega t, right? That is omega t is nothing but theta. Then we'll get this variation. This is the curve, right? So initially the value magnitude increases, it gets the maximum value. This is called the peak value of current. It decreases with time. At a half of the time period, it becomes 0. Again, it increases in the opposite direction. It gets maximum value in the opposite direction. This is called peak value in the opposite direction. And again, it slowly decreases to 0. Right? So magnitude changes continuously, and the direction here periodically, half of the time its direction changes, becomes negative, right? So the upper half, lower half, it has values. So the net current, if you want to find out what is the net current between these, so upper half and lower half added together gives a 0 value. That is, the average value in a complete cycle is 0 because signs are opposite. Okay, so upper half has the positive sign and the lower half has the negative sign. So the net average value for a complete cycle is 0. This is important. So how it becomes 0? We can find out. We can find out the average value. So this is the topic of discussion. So we have to find out the average value because the value is not constant. It is increasing slowly, right? At this particular instant of time, mind it, this is instantaneous value of alternating current. Instantaneous value. Instantaneous value of average value of instantaneous current, alternating current, right? This is the current for a particular instant, for particular value of time t. Okay, so this is a not average value. This is a current at an instant, at a particular instant t. So here small t uh, can be replaced by capital T if we uh, assume that this is a time period, total time period. Okay. So now let us find the average value. How? How we can find it? Before finding the average value, we should know that the angular velocity is given by omega is equal to twice pi by t. This is one relation you should know. Before going to find out the average velocity in a complete cycle, this is half cycle, this is another half cycle. We have to know this relation. How? What is omega? Omega is the angular velocity. Angular velocity means, you know, angular velocity is equal to theta by t, right? Angular velocity is nothing but rate of change of angular displacement. So what is theta? Theta for a complete cycle, if a body rotates, okay, in a time period capital T, if it completes one cycle in capital T time, then how many angles? What will be the angle at the center? At the center, the angle will be twice pi. What is the total time? Total time is capital T. That is, if time is capital T, the time taken to complete one cycle is capital T, the angle made by the object at the center is twice pi, then angular velocity will be twice pi by capital T. It is omega is related with time period with this relation, okay, by following this. So you should know this. And average velocity in the first positive half cycle. So we know this relation, omega is equal to twice pi by capital T. Now average velocity, average value of AC in first half cycle. First half cycle. This is this cycle and this cycle added together to give a complete cycle, right? So if we add both the cycles, the average value, then it will be 0. So let us find out one half. First, let us find the positive half cycle. Okay. For the positive half cycle, let us find the average value. Okay. So I average in the first half cycle. So according to the formula of finding average value, so it should be integrated within time limit from 0 to t by 2. 0 to t by 2, it should be divided dt. Okay, it should be divided by this time because we are going to find out the average value of alternating current within this range. Okay, so here the average value 0 to t by 2, the current is I naught. It is I. This is I. So we are putting I naught sin omega t. Sin omega t dt. So it should be integrated. The total current should be integrated within the range 0 to t by 2. Okay? The time range is 0 to t by 2. And it should be divided by the same time interval. Okay? So we know how to integrate, right? So we know how to put the lower limit and upper limit. So it is very simple calculation. If you put the value here, integration of dt is equal to what? T, small t, right? Small t, 0 to t by 2, and here I naught is a constant quantity, right? Integration of sine omega t is what? Minus cos omega t. So minus is taken in front of I naught. Okay. So you have to put the value of 0 to t by 2. Omega t, cos omega t, but you are to cos omega t, you have to again divide it by omega, right? You have to again divide it by omega because you are integrating sine omega t, but you are integrating with respect to dt, that is dt with respect to t, that is why. So omega is a constant, so the differentiation of sine omega t is minus cos omega t by omega, right? Now let us put the values. So if you put the value, what you will get? Here, this is t by 2, right? Minus I naught and cos omega t. In place of omega, you can write twice pi by t. And in place of t, what you can write? Twice pi by t. Twice pi by t. In place of omega, you can write twice pi by t. As already I explained, that omega is equal twice pi by t, right? You just put the value. So in place of small t, what you have to write? Capital T by, okay, next 0 t by 2. In the next line, you will be putting the upper limit t by 2 and lower limit 0. Okay. So this is a constant quantity. So let the constant quantity be taken out. Minus I naught 2 will be numerator, and this value t by twice pi will come out. Okay, and you put the value of t here, small t is there. We are putting only the value of omega. Okay, we are putting the only value of omega as twice pi by t. Small t is there. Now you have to put the value of small t as upper limit t by 2. Okay. Next, you have to put the value of t as 0, then cos 0, right? After putting the upper limit and lower limit, you will get this value. Then I think I have to write here. Okay. We are calculating IV, average. Okay. The average value is here. So TT will be cancelled. 2 will be cancelled. So minus I naught by pi. Right? So here you have to put the value here. Cancel. 2 will be cancelled. Cos pi is equal to what? Cos pi is equal to minus 1. So minus 1. Cos pi is equal to minus 1. And cos 0 degree is equal to 1. Okay. So this is I naught. So minus will be plus. Here will be plus minus 2. So minus will be plus. So 2 I naught by pi. Okay. 2 I naught by pi. Right. In the second half, if you want to find out the average value will have to be taken from t by 2 to t by 2 to t. Okay. The lower limit is t by 2, upper limit is t. The other values are same. The lower limit is t by 2, upper limit is 2. Because you are finding average value in the second half cycle. Okay. So I naught sine omega t dt. This is same, right? So you are to integrate this. Okay. So what will be the value here? I dash average. So I dash average is equal in the denominator. So t will be, after integrating dt, you will get t, right? So lower limit is t by 2, upper limit is t. So integrating this value, I naught, again omega will be divided sine omega t by omega. Okay, the minus will come out. So cos omega t by omega. Okay, cos omega t by omega. Then lower limit is t by 2, upper limit is t. Okay, lower limit is t by 2, upper limit is t. So after integrating sine omega t, you get again minus cos omega t by omega. So I naught is a constant. So you have to integrate this value. Okay, so omega will come out minus I naught omega. Omega will come out because it is a constant, constant angular velocity, and cos omega. In place of omega, you can write what? You can write twice pi by capital T. In place of omega, you can write twice pi by omega, or twice pi by t. In place of small t, you can write the upper limit as capital T, right? Minus cos, again, twice pi by capital T. Now, in place of small t, you are to write the lower limit, capital T by 2. Okay, this is the way. Okay, in the denominator, the capital T minus capital T by 2, right? So T minus capital T by 2 is what? So again T by 2. So it is T by 2 minus I naught. T by 2 is taken in the numerator. What you will get? T by 2, 2 by T, right? Because T minus T by 2 is nothing but T by 2. T by 2 is taken in the numerator, 2 by T. Okay. So next, this T2 will be cancelled. T2 will be cancelled. 2 will be cancelled. So cos twice pi value. Okay. So what is the value of cos twice pi? You know, cos twice pi minus cos pi. Okay. As you know, cos pi is equal to minus 1. Okay, minus I naught and twice pi by capital T. That T will be go in the numerator. T this 2T. Okay, T will be cancelled. So cos twice pi minus cos pi. Okay. So in this way you can find a value. 2 will be cancelled. So minus I naught by pi. After putting the values, you will get 1. Okay, this will be equal to I naught pi. So after calculation, you will get the value of average value of the second half cycle as minus 2 I naught by pi. Okay, and which is equal to 0.637 I naught. So equation number 2. So therefore net average value of AC, net average value of AC is equal to IAV plus I dash AV. First half cycle average value of first half cycle, average value of second half cycle. Both are equal and opposite. Therefore, it is 0. Okay. So it is proved that the average value of alternating current in a complete cycle is equal to 0. This is the first half cycle and this the second half cycle. So in this way we can find out the average value of alternating current in a complete cycle, right?